accident at the kennel.
While under your care, one of his dogs lost an eye.
Correct.
Did she not obey this owner's warning?
She said she believed they was fighting over the food, and I asked her, I said, why would you feed them together? I never have ever fed them together.
Ma'am, that is not what I said.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Dog trainer Ursula Pettyjohn is suing former client James White for unpaid boarding fees for his 2 dogs.
Order. All rise. This is case number 562 on the calendar, matter of Pettyjohn versus White. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Miss Pettyjohn, is boarding dogs your business?
Yes, it is.
How long has it been your business?
I started a kennel in 2004 and then with a partner separated from her and then started the kennel I currently have in 2008.
How many dogs do you take care of at any one time?
My kennel permit allows me to have up to 40, but it probably averages around 20.
And the defendant brought his 2 dogs for you to take care of?
Correct.
Had he ever brought his dogs to you before?
He was a new client. Checked in on December 23rd, 17, and checked the dogs out on January 4th, 2018.
Now, Mr. White says while the dogs were in your care, one of the dogs was severely injured and blinded. So let's get some facts that we all agree on. He brought in 2 healthy dogs.
Correct.
With 4 healthy eyes.
Correct.
What he retrieved from you were 2 dogs that had 3 eyes.
Correct.
And there is no question that the dogs were entrusted to you to take care of.
Correct.
So I actually think that your lawsuit is ridiculous. But I assume you have a contract that would support your position. I'd like to see it. You're talking about the Lead Me On boarding kennel agrees to take due care and diligence with respect to the boarded animals, and while taking all reasonable care will not take any liability or loss or damage, including but not limited to fire, theft, disease, death, escape, or injury to dogs in their care. Okay, so now the burden is on you to explain to me how this injury...
It's not actually present. We don't
well, then
have
if you're not,
cameras.
Then if you're actually not present, do you have somebody who was present?
My witness, Celeste, was here. She was the one that found the dogs that were injured.
Okay. Your last name is?
Rodriguez.
Miss Rodriguez, how long have you worked for the plaintiff?
1.5 years.
So now I would like you to tell me on what date did you discover injured dogs, multiple dogs?
1 dog.
Tell me where you found the dog.
I found them in their kennel.
Whose kennel?
The kennel that they were being boarded in.
Both of them boarded together?
Yes.
What kind of dogs are they?
One's a Boston Terrier mix, and the other is a Bully Mastiff mix.
And which dog was injured?
Oliver, the Boston Terrier mix.
What did you find?
So after I fed everybody...
First, explain that to me.
When I asked James what their feeding looks like, I asked specifically how much do they get fed. He said Oliver eats out of the bowl first, and then Taz in the same bowl finishes off what Oliver did not eat. Because our policy...
Is that what you told them?
No, ma'am.
No way. No way. I don't believe, it's impossible for me to believe that an owner of a dog would tell you, you put food in one bowl and then one dog will eat it until they're full, and then he'll step away and the other dog is going to go over and finish.
So, ma'am,
we'll tell you that.
When I came to the scene, because I was not there at the time.
I'm talking about,
check-in,
just a second.
Okay. I asked Celeste what instructions she had been given, because I wanted to make sure that we had followed the instructions. I then called James White, and I asked him, and I did not tell him what Celeste had said, because I wanted to make sure that if there had been any misunderstanding or mistake, that I knew whether or not I was responsible for anything that had happened with those dogs.
Just a second.
He told me verbatim
hey, listen to me.
What she had said.
Just a second.
He told me.
Are you telling me that you called him after the dog was injured?
Correct. I called him.
You called him not before. She checked in the dog. She got this fakakta mishearing of what a dog owner said to her. You didn't ask her to repeat it to you. You waited until after the dog was injured And then you said to her, well, you fed him out of one bowl? She said, that's what he told me to do. I've had 30 dogs. I never fed them all 30 in my lifetime. I've never had dogs eat out of the same bowl.
You should never have dogs.
Just a second. Should never. So if somebody were boarding dogs with me and I got the stupid instruction that somebody gave me, I would say, listen, I can't do that. I actually can't take dogs that eat out of the same bowl because that's bound to be trouble, because dogs are more stressed when they're away from home. So if you insist upon feeding them out of the same bowl, take them someplace else. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. And you're responsible for those vet bills. And he's not responsible to pay you. Or if he's responsible to pay you, I'm going to deduct it from whatever the vet bills are. You have a copy of the vet bills for your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Dog ended up losing an eye.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. White, on what date did you get a call from the plaintiff?
It was December 31st, ma'am.
Would you tell me what her conversation was with you?
She called me that night about 9:30 East Coast time, and she told me that Oliver had been in an accident at the kennel. So I asked her what happened, and she told me we fed the dogs at the same time, and one of the dogs attacked Oliver. So then I was like, well, is he okay? She was like, well, we're at the emergency room right now, and he has to have his eye removed. So then I talked to the vet, and then I talked to her again, and she told me Taz had attacked Oliver because they fed them together.
Ma'am, that is not what I said.
Miss Pettyjohn, what the defendant says is you said to him, your dog has been in an accident. He was attacked.
I did not say that.
I would like you to tell me exactly what you remember saying to him.
So what I remember saying to him is that Taz had bit Oliver.
What you said to him was, Taz bit Oliver.
Yes.
Is that what she said to you?
She told me Oliver was attacked by Taz because they fed them together.
So she did say Oliver was attacked by Taz. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you say?
I asked her what happened, and that's when she told me that they had just fed them together, and she said that she believed they was fighting over the food, and I asked her, I said, why would you feed them together? Because I never have ever fed them together. And then she told me that they was at the hospital now, and his eye had to be removed. I said, are you sure it has to be removed? She's like, yes, it's hanging out of the socket now. Then I talked to the actual vet who was gonna perform the surgery.
How long had you had these two dogs?
I had Oliver and Taz for 18 months before this happened.
Ever had any incidents with them?
No, ma'am. And I have proof for every kennel that they have ever went to, and it shows that it says do not feed the dogs together.
How many times have you kenneled the dogs?
I've kenneled the dogs there 10 times, ma'am, at the other kennel.
Ma'am, at the time that I called him...
I'm reading something. Why didn't you take the dogs back to this same place where you had taken them before, where it clearly will eat everything, separate to feed?
Those would have been nice instructions for us to have, except, ma'am, I do not believe that the dogs got in a fight over the food.
Just a second. You had instructions by Miss Rodriguez. She told you that he said to feed him out of the same bowl. That's what she told you.
Yes.
Yes. Well, why would a boarding place who boarded the dogs 10 times have specific instructions, separate to feed, and your assistant would tell you that he told your assistant, feed him out of the same bowl?
So I did not have, obviously, the past kennels, but he also said that I told him that the dogs...
You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question.
Please restate the question.
I'm going to restate the question. Unless he's on some sort of psychotropic medication or suffered from a severe traumatic brain injury, he told a previous kennel that kenneled the dogs 10 times in each of the instructions, separate them to feed them.
He did...
Hey, just a second. When he came to your assistant clearly remembers him saying, feed them together out of the same bowl. Put the food in, one will finish, and then step aside and let the other one eat. That's what she told me. Now, unless she's got a screw loose, or he has a screw loose and was looking that he told everybody else, separate to feed, except your assistant, who we told, feed together.
And myself, from his own words over the phone, verbatim.
That's covering your behind when the dog lost an eye. After the dog lost an eye is when you called him.
No, ma'am, I wanted to know from him what his feeding instructions were, and he told me verbatim
Very good.
what she had said.
Your claim is dismissed. Counterclaim is granted in the extent of $3,500. We're finished. Thank you.
That's fine.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was very unexpected. It was a very emotional call because I'm very, very close to my dogs. They're like my kids.
Think of it as like soccer camp. When you send your children to soccer camp, there is a chance that they may get injured.
So it's like sending your kids to daycare. You don't expect your kids to go to a daycare and come back with an eye missing.
So there's no guarantee when you send your dogs to daycare or to boarding that they won't get injured.
He's suffering from depression. He's not the same dog. He's not as active as he used to be. So it's like having a different dog now.
These animals are really important to us. I run a boarding kennel because I love dogs.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Stout versus Pittman. Step forward.
Samantha Stout is suing her former friend, Sue Ellen Pittman, for vandalizing her car.
That the defendant, who was a friend of yours for a while, vandalized your car with a golf club.
Yes, ma'am.
You want her to be responsible for the damage. While the defendant acknowledges that she was at your home the night of the vandalizing of your car, and angry, she said that she certainly did not return later and vandalize your car. So, Miss Pittman, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
You and the plaintiff used to be friends. Now, you had some sort of a falling out. You want to tell me what that falling out was about?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Who saw her vandalize your car with a golf club?
I saw her vandalize my car with a golf club.
Can I see photographs of the car?
Yes.
And you saw her with a golf club hitting your car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see the pictures.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Samantha Stout says her former friend, Sue Ellen Pittman, came to her home in the middle of the night and vandalized her car with a golf club.
Now, you had some sort of a falling out. You want to tell me what that falling out was about?
Well, a week before, yes, she had confronted me and accused me of deliberately trying to hurt her on 2 matters. And I thought we had those smoothed out and cleared up on the evening of the 15th.
And what happened on the 15th of March?
Well, on the evening of the 15th, I heard that she had been out with someone I was upset with.
A male or a female?
A male.
And you were upset with that person, that she had been out on a date with this person?
Yes.
Was it a date that she went out?
I don't know.
But that she went out with him? Mm-hmm. So you were upset. Is this somebody that you had been out with?
Someone who had used me, and I was done with.
So somebody that you had been out with, terminated a relationship with.
Yes.
Unpleasantly.
Yes.
And then you find out that your friend had been out with him, you don't know, socially or otherwise.
Right.
What happened on the 16th?
16th, I went out, and it was confirmed to me that, yes, she had been out with this person.
By someone else?
Yes.
And I'm allowing that in even though it's hearsay because I'm trying to figure out what was in your mind when you went over to her house. So it was confirmed to you that she had been out with this man that you had ended a relationship with under unpleasant circumstances, yes. And you went to her house at what time?
Probably between 11 and 12 at night.
Where had you been before that?
I had been out playing pool with a friend.
Did you drive or did the friend?
The friend was driving.
Your car or the friend's car? Because the friend was the designated driver, yes. Which means you had been drinking.
Yes.
And you got to the plaintiff's house between 11 and 12 that evening after an evening of playing pool and drinking and being angry at her for going out. And then what happened? You got to her house and?
It took a while, but I roused her boyfriend to the door.
How did you do that?
By knocking on the back door first and then the front door.
And it says 11 and 12. Now, was the house dark when you got there?
Yes, it was.
That meant people were sleeping. Didn't matter because you were not in control, so you hit the back door and then you hit the front door.
Yes.
And then the boyfriend, is that the person that you knew?
Yes, I've met him.
Her boyfriend?
Yes.
Not the one that you had.
Live-in boyfriend, yes.
That was not the person that you knew, that
right.
You had this bad relationship. So a live-in boyfriend came to the door and?
Said she was asleep and could not come to the door.
And was not coming to the door. Mm-hmm. And did they escort you off the premises?
No.
You just left?
I kept demanding that she come, and she finally came.
Okay, so you woke her up, and you were loud and aggressive, because that's the only reason she would have come to the door. You were loud and aggressive, because you're visualizing this. And what did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I don't remember a whole lot of what I said, but basically that she betrayed me. She was my friend, and I felt that she had betrayed me.
And And that was it?
That was it.
Okay, pick it up from there.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Could you tell me what you observed?
After the first incident, heard the dog barking, and Samantha was already up at this point. I go walking out the back, and Samantha's like, just looking at me like, what just happened here?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Samantha Stout says her former friend, Sue Ellen Pittman, came to her home in the middle of the night and vandalized her car with a golf club.
Okay, pick it up from there. Who saw her vandalize your car with a golf club?
I saw her vandalize my car with a golf club.
Tell me about it.
The second time she came to my house, I had heard some banging in the back door. I had a feeling it was her to return. This was around 12:10, 12:15.
Shortly after she had been told to leave the first time.
The first time, yes.
Okay. Can I see photographs of the car?
Yes.
And you saw her with a golf club hitting your car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see the pictures. Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
Did you have a police report?
I do, yes,
I'd like to see it, please.
Your Honor, may I say something?
May I see those?
Absolutely. Are you Mr. Rapper?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you step up, please, Mr. Rapper?
Yes.
Mr. Rapper, I assume that if you were sleeping with your girlfriend, you also heard this banging.
Yes, ma'am.
After she left the first time.
Correct.
Can you tell me what you observed?
On the second time, I heard we had laid back down after the first incident, and I heard the dog barking, and Samantha was already up at this point. I'm a lot deeper sleeper than she is, so I woke up to the dog barking. I go walking out the back, and Samantha's like, just looking at me like, what just happened here?
So you didn't actually see the defendant hitting the car?
I saw her as she was peeling out of our driveway.
The second time?
The second time. Same truck that she drives, same truck that left the first time.
She wasn't driving?
Now that I can't say whether or not.
She was driving or not?
Right.
She was not driving the first?
Very much looked like her sitting in the driver's seat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have estimates both to fix the door and the car?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please.
And also, as she was leaving the second time, she sent me the emoji of the middle finger as well.
Do you have that?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. Okay, very good, thank you. Don't do things when you're drinking.
Can I comment
Bad idea.
on that?
Bad idea. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. We're done.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I think justice has been served, and I think the defendant is very crazy.
I don't play golf. I don't own golf clubs. I did not damage her vehicle with a golf club.
She's crazy around the neighborhood. She's very familiar with the Selma Police Department.
Could have been one of her other boyfriends or the girlfriend of one of her other boyfriends.
Well, she's red flagged. This isn't the first person she's been.
Bells before I befriend someone.
Choose your friends more wisely.
I asked her, can I use your vehicle? And she told me no.
Did you drive my car? You're lying under oath.
Different realities for a sister and brother.
He wasn't driving the car when it was damaged. You drove the car into a pole.
Correct.
He's lying.
But the judge is all about keeping it real.
Did you have insurance on your car?
No, ma'am.
You can't let your brother, who I wouldn't let drive a tricycle, borrow my car that had no insurance on it.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Mary Gay is suing her brother, 22-year-old Leroy Jackson, for damaging her car and then spray painting the damage.
Order. All rise. This is case number 28 on the calendar in the matter of Gay versus Jackson. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Miss Gay, this is your brother.
Yeah.
It is your claim that he asked to borrow your car, just going to the store. When he came back, he said he had had an accident with the car, and he did have an accident with the car. Hit an inanimate object. You were very aggravated, and a few days later, when you looked at the car, he had tried to, what do they call it, bondo? You know, the stuff that they put in to cover things.
Right.
And he had painted it over, and it looked...
No, Your Honor. He tried to spray paint my car.
I said he.
Yeah, he tried to spray paint it, not bondo it.
Or just spray paint it, or
yeah.
whatever. Brother said that he did, in fact, try to spray over the car, but he said that was at your request because he wasn't driving the car when it was damaged. You drove the car into a pole.
Correct.
He's lying.
Okay, shh. Now, Mr. Jackson, how old are you, sir?
I'm 22.
Who do you live with?
Myself and my girlfriend.
What kind of work do you do?
I am currently unemployed.
And what kind of work does she do?
She works as a cashier at Walmart.
How long have you been unemployed?
About 6 to 8 months.
Have any medical problems, sir?
I do not.
Do you take any prescription or non-prescription medication?
I do not.
What were you doing at your sister's house?
I was just over there relaxing. That was it. Just
At what time of the day were you over there relaxing?
probably about noonish, a little bit after that.
On what date? Was it a Monday through Friday, or was it a Saturday or Sunday?
That I cannot really pinpoint for you. Like,
do you remember what month it was?
Yes, I do. It was January.
January of this year.
Yeah.
Relaxing, or was your girlfriend there with you?
My girlfriend was there with me.
How did you get to your sister's house?
I got a ride.
From whom?
From my sister.
This sister?
Yes.
So she came to pick you up?
Yes.
What time did she come to pick you up?
Say about...
Don't guess.
I'm trying to remember for you, but...
Well, I want you to remember.
It's around noonish, a little bit after, like I said.
Your Honor, it's 11:30.
Shh. If I wanted you to give me an answer, I would have looked in your direction.
Sorry.
Around...
My time is around 11. Around noonish.
Am I keeping you awake?
Yeah.
Good. So your sister came and picked you up at around 12 noon, you and your girlfriend, to come and spend the day.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I was over at my sister's house, and I wanted to go to the store. So I asked her, can I use your vehicle? And she told me no, but I wasn't happy with that answer. So I kept asking her.
You're lying. I told you yes.
I kept asking.
I'm going to throw out your case.
Sorry.
Do you understand?
Again.
Yes.
I'm going to throw out your case. Do it one more time. When I want an answer, I'm going to get it from him. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. Keep going. I asked you, so you were pestering her.
I was pestering her, whatever you want to call it. I was just asking her if I can. I kept asking her. So she finally told me no, but I'll give you a ride up there. I said, okay, that is fine with me.
Was there a reason why she wouldn't give you the keys to the car?
I don't.
Did you have a drinking or smoking anything or nothing, anything?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, you sort of glossed over the smoking anything. You weren't drinking anything. So she said, no, but I'll give you a ride there.
Yes, correct.
And?
So I go in the house, I grab my girlfriend so we can both go up there to the store. So we start heading to...
What store did you want to go to?
It was a BP.
What is that?
A gas station.
What did you want to go for?
Cigarettes and drinks and other stuff.
Cigarettes and drinks?
Yes, but not alcoholic drink, like just a pop, grab something to drink.
Snacks. Munchy crunchies. So your sister is driving you to the BP, and?
So my sister driving me to the BP, and we're about to pull in. I don't know really what caused her to hit it or what, but we were driving, she pulled in, she went over the curb, she hit it. Her driver door would not open, so I got out the car to check. Being the nice little kind brother I am, got out the car, checked for her, and I told her my evaluations of it. I told her it was the dent on it and that it wasn't too bad, if I would say so, but I'm not no mechanic.
Okay, and did you go and get your snacks?
Yes, I still got my snacks. That's what I went.
Just a second. Did you get the snacks before or after she went over the curb and hit something?
I got it after.
Well, she couldn't get it. You said she couldn't
Not open.
Open, so she stayed in the car.
Yes.
And you went out and got the snacks.
Yes.
Got back into the car.
Correct.
And then what happened?
And then, well, I checked out the damages after I grabbed my snacks. And I looked and I told her it wasn't too bad that...
Wasn't too bad, but you can't open the door. And?
It wasn't too bad as far as visibly. Like, to me, it wasn't as bad because we see cars with dents on them all the time. Like, It was just a couple scratches that were really an eyesore to me. So I told her that.
But if she couldn't open the door, then it must have been more damage than that. She couldn't open the door.
Correct, but from my point of view.
From your vision.
Yes, from my vision of it, it wasn't too bad. Like I was still on that car and I would still drive it. It's not totaled. It is still drivable.
You mean two extremes, either it's a scratch or it's totaled. You don't think that not being able to open a driver's door makes a car too dangerous to drive? What happens if it starts to smoke in a car? You can't get out.
I would just...
How did she get out of the car?
You had to climb over the seat.
Is that what your sister did when she got home?
Yeah.
Now, you went in and got your snacks and your cigarettes, and you got back into the car. And then I assume you went to your sister's house.
Correct.
How did she get out of the car?
She had to climb over the seat. Correct.
And you and your girlfriend and your sister are hanging out, munching on what you bought and smoking the cigarettes that you had bought. Did there come a time when you went home?
Yes.
How did you get home?
My mother.
Your mother came to pick you up.
Correct.
Why did you call your mother?
Because I did not want her driving her car all the way back out to Cleveland.
Why not?
Because she literally just got into an accident.
And on what date did the accident take place?
January 10th.
Did you go to the house to pick up your brother and his girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Who else was at your house?
My daughter was at my house. My boyfriend was at my house. And that was it.
And at what time did somebody take the car and go to get snacks and cigarettes?
Leroy took the car at about 12:45.
Did not.
Did he ask you if he could take the
Yes.
car? You know your brother has a driver's license. When he asked you if he could go to the store to get some snacks, why did you say no?
I didn't say no, Your Honor. I told him that he could. I've let him drive my car before on many different occasions.
And you gave him the keys?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of car is it?
It's a Chrysler 300 2005.
When did you purchase it?
I purchased it February previous year to this year, the 17th.
Is there a note on the car?
No, it's all paid off.
Do you have photographs of what the car looked like?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like.
This is before he wrecked it. This is after he wrecked it. This is after he wrecked it. And this is whenever he thought he was an auto repair shop.
I was not driving the vehicle.
When you showed me a picture of before, this is not what the car looked like before he took it.
No, ma'am, that's before, as far as before he spray painted it, and he was a repair shop, I guess. I don't know.
Well, on what date did you do that?
Wanted me to do
Mr. Jackson, on what date did you try to fix it?
It was sometime in February. I do not recall the exact day. It was like a couple weeks after she called me and she told me to go ahead and to spray paint it. And then I further went ahead and went to the auto store to get spray paint. And right before,
it was all dented. How do you spray paint a dented car?
I was trying to cover up the scratches like she had wanted me to.
Well, but it's dented.
I know, but the concern was the scratches and making it.
No, the concern was how do you get the car door open? How did you get the car door open?
Ma'am, I never got it opened, and my concern was the damage to the door, because like you said earlier, if a fire was to happen, how am I supposed to get
it's my question that you haven't.
I did not hit it.
It's my question to you that you haven't.
If I have to,
so the
it's
answer.
emergency.
So the answer is you've used the car since.
Yes, only in the cases of emergencies.
So the answer is you've used the car since.
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you get in and out of the car?
I literally have to climb over the seat, and I'm not exactly skinny, Your Honor. So I have bruises on my legs from it, and it's just a big inconvenience.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How did you expect him to fix the car?
Last I knew, he had insurance.
If his car was repossessed.
Because their car didn't get repossessed until in the middle of the month, Your Honor, and usually insurance goes for a full month.
You didn't even think about that.
And later today.
What is the name of your insurer?
Geico.
You're in good hands with Geico. Right?
That's Allstate, but...
Geico is
Allstate.
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 Geico's the gecko.
Oh, the little gecko.
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Mary Gay says her brother, Leroy Jackson, damaged her car and then damaged it more when he attempted to fix it.
Now, how did you expect him to fix the car?
I thought last I knew he had insurance because he
what
had
kind of insurance does he have?
I
don't know. Insurance? How could he have insurance?
Because he had a vehicle prior to this.
Car. You had to go pick him up. How could you think he had insurance if his car was repossessed?
Because their car didn't get repossessed until in the middle of the month, Your Honor, and usually insurance goes for a full month.
You didn't even think about that. I mean, you're just tooting right now. So I assume you only have liability, not collision on your car. Is that right?
No, ma'am. I don't have any insurance on my vehicle at this time.
Just a minute. Did you have insurance on your car the day you let him drive it?
No, ma'am. And the reason why I didn't have insurance was because I'm a single mother and I'm trying to take care of my children without help from their father. And sometimes I have to buy basketball shoes,
Miss Gay,
toiletries for them,
Gay.
anything.
Miss Gay, you can't drive a car without insurance. It's fascinating to me. I mean, I thought at least you would say to me, yeah, but I can't afford collision insurance. I only have liability. You can't drive a car without insurance, and you can't let your brother, who I wouldn't let drive a tricycle today, borrow my car that had no insurance on it.
Your Honor, but that still doesn't stop the fact that he spray painted my vehicle, my black vehicle gray, and that he had, he wrote a promissory note saying that he wrecked the car, Your Honor,
let me explain to you.
And that he would pay for the damages.
I don't, listen to me. I don't care. I'm going to give you a doctorate. Down your paper. This
Your
is
Honor,
what
so
it's. This
it's
is what
okay
it's.
for
Just a
him
second.
to not pay for the damage that he did?
It's as okay for him not to pay for the damage as it is for you to drive your car and lend it to other people without insurance. Because if instead of hitting a pole, he hit 2 children and caused injury, and you have no insurance.
Your Honor, because like I said, I thought he had insurance and his insurance would cover. And he has a promissory note that him and his girlfriend drove saying that they drove my car. And what about him spray painting it?
Bye. You want to drive a car without insurance?
So you didn't drive my car?
I'm telling you right now.
So you didn't drive my car?
Listen to me very carefully.
Did you drive my car? You're lying under oath.
Just a second. I don't care whether he drove it or not.
Did you drive my car?
She doesn't understand, Bert.
Right.
She doesn't understand. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit here. We're going to cut off her mic, and I'm going to say right into the camera, when you come to court, you have to have clean hands. You're supposed to have insurance. Perfect. Thank you. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Justice was served here. She's just trying to find somebody to blame. She wants it not to be on her. She wants me to be the person to blame when in reality it is her. And the judge seen through it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lambert versus Moorfield. Step forward.
Tyson Moorfield for the remainder of a car loan after he totaled her car on their first and only date.
Miss Lambert, about a year ago, you met the defendant. You had one date with him, and you were driving home from your date, and the defendant was driving your car.
Correct.
At your request.
Correct.
And he had an accident.
Yes.
And the car was totaled as a result of the accident.
Correct.
It was a relatively new car, and it was fully insured, and you had gap insurance. Perfect. What is the name of your insurer?
Geico.
You're in good hands with Geico. Right?
That's Allstate, but... But I would say Geico definitely took care of me.
Geico was
Allstate.
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 Geico was the gecko.
Geico gecko. Oh, the little gecko.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She had told me that the insurance was going to cover everything.
No, listen to me. I don't care. So you mean she told you that the insurance was going to cover everything, so you decided to be an inattentive driver because you had gap insurance? Don't be a fool.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jillian Lambert says Tyson Moorfield totaled her car on their...
Initially got a ticket for reckless driving.
Correct.
That didn't impact on them paying you insurance for your car, but you were advised that since he got this ticket, which was a criminal act for reckless driving, they wouldn't cover your gap insurance.
Correct.
So far, correct?
So far, correct.
Then Mr. Moorfield was only convicted of what?
Inattentive driving.
Inattentive driving, which is not a criminal act. And so you said to Geico he was not convicted of a criminal act. They found that he was inattentive, or he pled guilty, which is the same thing, to inattentive driving, so that I want you to pay my gap insurance, which they then should have done, right?
Correct.
But which they didn't do.
Right.
Yeah, so two things. I'd like to see the letter from Geico telling you that even though he wasn't found guilty of a criminal act, they're still not going to cover your gap insurance.
I actually do not have that letter because I spoke to them on the phone. I only have the initial letter of them stating that they were not going to cover because he was cited for reckless driving at the time. So when I had called them and told them, okay, it got pled down to inattentive driving, they said, okay, we'll cover it.
Well, then you should have gotten a letter from them.
They never sent a letter.
How long?
2016 that I had contacted them, and they said, yeah, we'll cover it. Never got a letter.
And Are you still with Geico?
No. I swapped to State
Farm.
Farm.
Have you called them since?
Yeah, I called them since, and I never got a response. That portion of their insurance company just never...
Well, just a second. Do you have any notations about the person that you spoke to when you called Geico?
I don't. I ended up not taking enough notes on that, so...
Well, I'd like to see the letter that they sent you.
The initial one?
Yeah.
Because I had sent a letter back telling them, and I'll give that to you as well, to keep the case open.
Well...
And they never replied back. I even asked for a receipt from them, from the letter that I sent them.
Oh, they didn't pay it because the exclusion to your policy clearly states gap addendum does not apply to any loss arising out of dishonest, which this wasn't, fraudulent, which this doesn't, criminal, which this wasn't, illegal or intentional act.
Right.
Well, what he did was an intentional act. You pled guilty to what?
Inattentive driving, ma'am.
That's an intentional act. So they were perfectly within their rights and within their contract to not pay your gap insurance. She spoke to somebody at Geico who may have given her misinformation or just blown her off, because they did pay a lot of money on your car. How much?
I think the total was around $12,000.
That's a lot of money. So the shortfall was $2,700. So now it comes to you. You pled guilty to inattentive driving.
Yes, ma'am.
Which means the accident was your fault.
Yes, ma'am.
So beyond a reasonable doubt, you owe $2,700.
I don't believe so, ma'am.
Well, I don't care actually what you believe. So I'm going to tell you what the law is. You pled guilty to an act that caused an accident. She is at a loss of $2,700 because of your inattentive driving. As between you and the plaintiff, why should she pay for your inattentive driving?
Well, as we had discussed that night, she had told me that the insurance was going to cover everything.
Now, listen to me. I don't care. So you mean she told you that the insurance was going to cover everything, so you decided to be an inattentive driver because that you had gap insurance? Don't be a fool. Give me another defense that I can buy, or just say, I'm going to shut up.
I'm not sure.
Well, then just say, I'm going to shut up.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,700. We're finished.
Please excuse, you may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
I don't believe I should have to pay $2,700.
I'm just glad that this all got settled finally.
It's a car accident, and by definition, it's an accident. I didn't mean to.
It was a pretty bad wreck. We totaled 3 cars in the process.
Just lucky and happy at least to still be here.
I'm very glad I'm alive.
Her bad puppy had more to learn.
You called him to come to your home in his capacity as a dog trainer.
Is it this owner who's in need of schooling?
He came to your house for about an hour. You wrote him a check.
Yes.
You subsequently canceled the check.
He didn't train my dog at all.
Nobody can guarantee that they can train a dog in one day.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Dog trainer Russell Avison is suing former client Min Zhao for canceling a check for his services.
Order. All rise. It's case number 57 on the calendar, the matter of Avison versus Zhao.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
This Zhao, what kind of a dog do you have?
It's a mixed hybrid, American Eskimo and Australian Shepherd.
How old is the dog?
He just turned 1 year old.
And you were having some behavioral problems with him?
Yes.
What kind of behavioral problems?
Back in March, when I got home from work, I found out my backyard was trashed. The dog plucked out, the plant's roots, and also chewed off the enclosure, the corner of the gas meter enclosure.
And he had never done that before?
He did something smaller. On smaller cases, he plucked some, the plants, but not in that scale.
Okay, so you sought out Mr. Avison for some training for the dog. He had a school for dog training, and you took the dog to his school. Did you ever take the dog to his school?
Actually, it's a community class. There was a 6-week community class.
Did you take the dog to his class?
Yes, I took Cosmo to his class.
From when to when did you take his class?
I think the class started in September 2017. It's probably 5-6 weeks.
And you must have been satisfied with his class because subsequently, after this incident happened in March, you called him to see him privately.
I wouldn't call it
satisfied or not. If you were dissatisfied, you wouldn't have called him. So you called him to come to see you privately, not at the center, to your home.
He was my second choice. I called
I don't care if it was your first choice, second choice, third choice, or 10th choice. You called him to come to your home in his capacity as a dog trainer.
Yes.
When did he come to your home?
He came on Friday he showed up 7:10, 10 minutes late.
He came at what time?
In the afternoon, 3:10.
And he stayed for how long?
Probably he asked me whether I paid check or cash around 4 o'clock. So less than an hour.
When you called him to make the appointment for him to come to your house, did you ask him how much he charged?
I asked
Just a second. Just answer my questions.
Okay. Yes.
You asked him because that's a normal question and you sound like a normal person. You said, how much would it be for you to come to my house?
Yes, what's the session rate?
And what did he tell you?
He told me 179 up to
$179.
Up to 1.5 hours.
$179 for up to 1.5 hours.
Yes.
He came to your house. He was there for about an hour. You wrote him a check for $179. So far correct? Or he left?
Yes.
And that was on a Friday?
Friday, around 4 o'clock.
And you subsequently canceled the check on what date?
On Sunday, 8.
Sunday?
Yeah.
So?
In the evening.
And that's what you're suing for?
Yes.
I'm listening. So far, you can't do what you just did. He quoted you a price. He came to your home. He spent an hour. He charged you $179, exactly what he said he was going to charge. If you were dissatisfied, you wouldn't use him again. But he came to your house. I'm listening.
Okay. He came to my house supposed to either train my dog or demonstrate to me how to train my dog on his problem. Before he came to my house...
Just a second. When did you have that discussion?
We discussed over the phone before he came.
Just a second. What did you discuss with him over the phone?
Mm-hmm.
No. What did you discuss with him?
So he asked me what the problem is. I told him exactly what
the problem was.
We went through...
Just a second. You explained what the problem was, and he said to you, what did he say?
He said, first he said, he cannot come that week. He has some available spots the next week, the week after. I told him this is a time-sensitive matter. I need to get the dog trained this week. So he checked his calendar again. He said he happened to have opening at...
Fine. So he had an opening at 3 o'clock, and you said...
Okay, I said, I will take it.
Great. And he said?
He said he'll come. He'll confirm with me, and he'll send me a text. He'll confirm with me, the day after.
Fine. And?
And he did. He did.
And he came. So you have to pay him. He can't guarantee that he can train your dog.
No, but he didn't train my dog at all. He offered some tips, tricks regarding, how to stop dog from barking. And around the fall...
Miss Al, let me explain something to you. You can't do what you did. If you are dissatisfied, there are other things that you can do. Writing him a check and then deciding that you weren't satisfied with his service. So canceling it is not your option. You have to pay him. He made that... It's like a doctor. Let me explain something to you. If I call a doctor to come to see me and I say, I have a very, very bad cold. The doctor comes, says, I charge $250 to come and make a house call. I say, fine. Comes, he looks at me, he says, yep, you have a cold. I have to pay him $250. Yeah, he came to your house, he conferred with you, he gave you some tips. You didn't think it was enough? Don't use them again. But you can't cancel the check.
Good. Before he asked me for the check, I just asked him, you haven't, trained my dog as I asked you. And he said, I have to run to Malibu, so I'm going to send you email on how to train your dog. I was kind of shocked. I didn't hire, somebody at that rate to come to my house, then to send me email on how to train my dog. He said, I have something to do, tomorrow, which is Saturday, but I'll send you the email first thing on Sunday morning. So I waited Sunday, the whole day, because Monday I have to go back to work. And I didn't see the email. So until I see the sky getting dark.
Just a second. Mr. Ravison?
Yes.
Ms. Zhao says that when you left, you told her that you couldn't give her the tips then, but you were going to write a report that she would have on Sunday. Is that correct?
No, it's not. I had a full schedule on the weekend. I teach classes Saturday and Sunday, and I had a full schedule. I said I would have it for her at the end of the day on Monday.
Okay, but you were going to give her a report?
Absolutely.
Fine. Did you prepare the report?
I did.
Do you have it?
I do.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Did you ever send this to her?
No, I did not.
Why?
Because she kicked it out, so I didn't feel that I needed to fulfill that obligation.
You want the report? You're going to pay for it. Do you want the report?
He lost,
Do you want the report?
If I want something to read, I can go online and search it, read online. I don't need his report.
Miss Zhao, you're going to pay him anyway. I would take the report. He came to your house. If you were dissatisfied with his service, don't use him again. Time was not of the essence because any intelligent person, and you do not look like an unintelligent person, would know that nobody can guarantee that they can train a dog in one day. Nobody can guarantee. No, just a second. Nobody can guarantee that. You do not look like a fool. I have dogs, you have dogs. You've had this dog for a year. You took your dog to a class for 6 weeks to be trained. And because you couldn't go to work because you were afraid that the dog was going to do damage over the weekend, you thought that he could come and in 1 hour break the dog of a bad habit that the dog had been developing over a period of months of ripping things up? Don't be ridiculous.
No, at least demonstrate
Don't be ridiculous. You have to pay him. You have to pay him. So I'm asking you one question. Do you want to pay him and get his report, or do you not want this report?
I don't want his report.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of...
Step out.
That's exactly what I expected.
If I hire somebody at that rate, at least, he can personally showing or train the dog.
She canceled the check prior to me even being able to talk with her.
I'm just shocked, how the way it turns.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Paterka versus Benison, step forward.
Carrie Paterka is suing her former fiancé, Marcus Benison, for car repair charges and half the cost of their engagement rings.
Ms. Paterka, you and the defendant were in a relationship.
Correct.
The relationship is something that's the subject of this case because it is your claim that you were engaged. It's Mr. Benison's position that you were not engaged, and you want money back for what you call engagement rings that you exchanged. You want at least half that bill, and you also say that he used your credit card for something.
Yes, ma'am.
He says that you vandalized his property and he's got a counterclaim. So tell me about the rings. Were you and Mr. Benison living together?
No, we were not. We were actively looking for a home together.
You were not living together?
No.
When had you started dating?
Well, I've known him for over 20 years. We're acquaintances. We live in this area. We're acquaintances. We live in the same area. We started dating last summer, maybe around July.
And you bought rings?
Around October.
Okay. May I see the rings that you purchased?
I don't have the ring on me. I have a photo, and I believe he may be wearing the ring. I'm not sure.
No. Where is your ring?
I don't have it anymore.
What did you do with it?
Actually, I lost it. I don't know. I left it on a speaker at my house, and I'm not sure what happened to it, but I have a photo of the ring.
I don't care to see a photo of the ring.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How long did you remain in a relationship after you exchanged these rings?
2 months later.
Yeah, when the bills started being due, you got ghosted.
Shouldn't have spent the money.
I played the fool. Everybody played the fool sometime, right?
Then what do you want from me?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Carrie Paterka says former fiancé Marcus Benison owes for credit card charges for car repairs and half the cost of their engagement rings. Marcus is countersuing, claiming Carrie vandalized his home.
Okay, you want him to pay for his ring?
Yes. These are customized rings.
I don't care. Explain why you think he should pay you for the ring you gave him.
That was the agreement. Initially...
Then, just a second. Then tell me what the agreement was.
Well, initially, I bought promise bracelets. So he said, oh, do a great job on jewelry. I said, okay. So he's like, let's go out there and, you know, check out this jewelry. Now, Mr. Benison gave me some appraisals of previous jewelry.
Shh. Just tell me how it came about that you gave him a ring.
We went together. Got them made together.
So you went together?
Yes.
Had them made together?
Yes.
But you paid for them?
He doesn't have any credit. I got a credit card open and was able to get credit to pay for the rings.
Do you work, sir?
Yes.
Who do you work for?
I work for a group called Bone Thugs and Harmony as a hype man.
What is that?
Get the crowd revved up while they're performing.
You want to tell me your version of how you got that ring?
Okay, how I got the ring. One day, me and her was talking, and I had a chain that says my name on it. And I lost one of the letters off of it. And I said, okay, I'll go to Detroit one day to take my chain down there before they can appraise and fix it. We both went down. Okay, we went to the jeweler, and she asked me for my ring. Can she wear my ring to say Flossie?
I said, your ring.
I don't want you to speak when he's speaking.
I said, no, you can't. No, I'm not gonna let you wear my ring. She's like, well, I'll get me one made with your name on it, and you get one with my name. I said, okay, we can do that. And after that, she ran her credit and she purchased the ring. She didn't say nothing about it.
How long did you remain in a relationship after you exchanged these rings?
Maybe 2 months later.
Yeah, when the bills started being due, you got ghosted. That's what happened.
Could be. Shouldn't have spent the money.
Yeah, I played the fool. Everybody played the fool sometime, right?
Then what do you want from me?
Nothing from you. I want my money back from this gentleman.
Well, so far you haven't told me that you had a contract.
Well, he gave me these 2 appraisal papers saying, hey, you know I got the money to pay stuff back. I also took a loan out for him for a credit card for this tow truck to get fixed. So I gave him a loan for the tow truck. He said, hey, you know, he's got a lot of jewelry. Everything's real and it's value. He said, you know, I'll give you these appraisal papers in a promise to let you know that you know I'm good for the money. And once I actually fix the tow truck and get the tow truck running, I'll give you your money back. And he gave me these as a promise.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
So how did I get them?
One day, her daughter...
If you speak to him again...
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to dismiss your case.
Okay.
Because it's easy for me.
Well, how she got the paper, Your Honor, one day, me and her daughter and her son are real close. Okay, and her daughter met me for the first time. And she seen me with my jewelry on, and she was like, oh, he got all that jewelry. Is it fake? And I told her, no, it's real. And then she went over to either her stepfather or her father's house, and she was like, oh, yeah, my mom got a new friend, and he wear a lot of jewelry, this, and then he was like, to me, my stepdad said, your jewelry fake. I said, no, it's not. I went home, I went in my safe, and I said, look at these papers. My jewelry ain't fake. And then I showed her daughter. I said, look how much I paid for this jewelry. This jewelry not fake. And that's how she obtained the papers. I forgot them over her house. I never went back to get them.
Okay, Mr. Benison, I'm more interested in the money that she gave you for your tow truck to be fixed.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care about the jewelry.
Right.
I don't know what she did with hers.
Right.
I don't believe her when she says, I don't have it anymore, I lost it. Put it on top of something and I lost it. I don't believe it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The plaintiff vandalized your property. What property did she vandalize?
The house that I'm staying in.
Did you call the police?
No, I never took it to get her in trouble and call no police.
Well, then what are you bothering me for?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Carrie Paterka says former fiancé Marcus Benison owes for credit card charges for car repairs and half the cost of their engagement rings. Marcus is countersuing, claiming Carrie vandalized his home.
An engagement ring is something a man gives to his partner or a woman gives to her partner in exchange the sense that you promised to marry her. So I am, however, very interested in this tow truck that you had that wasn't running. When was that, Mr. Benison, that your truck wasn't running?
I think it's November.
And I want you to tell me the conversation that you had with the plaintiff about your truck not running.
Okay, it was like I had a tow truck. It wasn't up running, and she said, okay, well, I can be business partners with you. I can help you out in it, and I, you know, since we're in a relationship.
Just I could be business partners. What was she going to do with your truck?
Nothing. She wasn't going to do anything with it. She just was the financial part behind that because she wanted the truck up running for business.
What business?
Tow truck business.
Who was going to drive a tow truck?
Me.
I thought you were a tongler. You got the crowd revved up.
I mean, that's not a job I do every day. It's not an everyday job.
What do you do every day?
I got lawnmowers, I cut grass, I paint houses. I do anything to keep money coming in so I can take care of myself and my family. It's not like every day.
Well, but your truck wasn't running.
No.
Who paid to have it fixed?
Oh, she paid to have it fixed, ma'am.
And where is the truck now?
Still parked in my backyard.
It doesn't work?
I never drove it one time, that truck one time.
After you had it fixed?
Never drove it one time.
Why?
At the time, I mean, what I needed, I didn't have. I didn't have the time to be there and actually run. I owned more than one tow truck. And I had a wheel left. So I sold the wheel left and I got a flatbed. And then the flatbed needed work on it. So I had to park it and leave it parked until I can get the work done on it. And then once the work got done on it, my business partner got to acting crazy and went left and left me by myself with it. So I never got a chance to use that actual tow truck.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much did you spend to have the tow truck fixed?
$3,517.07.
I'd like to see that. Now I'm going to get to your counterclaim. It is your claim that the plaintiff vandalized your property. What property did she vandalize?
The house that I'm staying in.
Tell me how she did that.
She put toothpaste all over the doors, broke eggs, threw garbage all over.
Did you call the police?
No, I didn't call the police because I didn't take it that serious. It was like, to me, it was like a relationship being over, oh, she mad. So I never took it upon her, like, to get her in trouble and call no police on her.
Well, then what are you bothering me for?
If
you didn't take it...
I didn't think, like, to call the police to just get her in trouble because she, threw some eggs and vandalized. I just got it fixed and done myself.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,517. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
It is what it is.
This is a lesson learned. I really did love that man.
Oh, it's over. I'm done. I don't want nothing else to do with it.
Man, I'm cool by myself and my kids. We're good. We was good before we got with them. I'm good without them.
Choose my girls wisely next time.
Keep it moving, man. I don't know.
You tell me why she would give you a phone.
The terms were communicated.
She said, well, I can buy it, and then you can just pay me back for it when you get paid.
Then young friends have a disconnect.
She starts texting me. One day she wants me to have the phone, the next day she wants it back.
Even the grown-ups are stumped.
It's a really confusing thing.
It's super confusing, and I'm not easily confused.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Kylie Stroud says former friend Anastasia won't return her iPhone. Kylie is also suing for slander.
Order. All rise. This is case number 27 on the calendar, the matter of Stroud versus Wisnett. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
How are you related to each other?
She's my sister.
How old are you?
18.
How old are you?
20.
How old are you?
20.
Who do you live with?
My mother and father.
Who do you live with?
My mother. My other sister. I don't live with my mom.
Raise your hand if you have children. Raise your hand if you're going to have children. Soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Have to find something else to do. Constructive.
I agree.
Look at your mother.
Yep.
Get an education, get a job, have a career, have a life. Where's her phone?
It's gone.
Who did she give it to?
She gave it to me.
When did she give it to you?
In December, towards the end of December.
Why did she give it to you?
Because she purchased a new phone, iPhone 8 Plus.
Did you do that with your money?
Yes, I did, with a credit card, yes.
From your job?
Yes.
And how much do you make at this job?
I make between $400 to $500 a week.
Gross. That's not a hard question. If you're pregnant, you should know the difference between gross and net.
It's gross.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes. It's about $1,500 a month.
Gross or net? What do you take home?
I take home $450 a week.
Do you have a car?
Yes, I do.
Who bought the car?
I did.
Have a loan on the car?
Yes.
So with that $450, you pay off the loan. And insurance?
Yes.
Good. And how pregnant are you?
About 11 weeks.
And you plan on staying home after you have this baby, or is this baby going to be taken care of by your mother?
I'm going to stay home and get stable and have everything get together and planning on moving out.
What does that mean?
I don't think she plans on just staying home for the amount of weeks that she's allotted for, you know.
And then you're going to take care.
And then I'll be taking care. Yes.
Then you're a mom all over again.
Yes.
And how old are you?
I'm 43. Yeah, I wasn't too happy.
Yeah, good. Now you can sit down. Now I know you're normal. Okay, so let me flush this out for you. I don't know whether you sold her the phone or gave her the phone. I'm going to find out. But it would seem to me that if you are 20 years old, living at home, you have a job, you have a baby, you don't spend $800 for a phone and then the $800 on a credit card. Not smart. I know you can have a phone that doesn't cost $800. Now I'm going to come back to you. You tell me why she would give you a phone that's worth $800. Don't look over there. Look over here.
We were friends at the time.
Friends. Good friends who work and who work hard enough to make $450 a week. Don't give a friend an $800 phone. Doesn't happen. What do you do to occupy your time?
Well, right now I'm a waitress at a...
So you work?
Mm-hmm.
When she transferred the phone to you, what were you doing?
When she transferred the phone to me, I was working at Pizza Hut.
Okay, so you were working.
Yes, ma'am.
And you needed a phone.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tell me about it.
We made an agreement after she got herself in a bind wanting to take the 8 Plus back because she realized she didn't need it. We made an agreement that I would pay her, and I had given her $400 for the phone. And then she starts texting me. One day she wants me to have the phone, the next day she wants it back. So she started contacting all my family about it.
I don't care about your family. I don't care about harassment. I don't care about anything else. I care only about the phone.
Okay, so I told her that I was gonna get a new phone and that once I got my new phone, she could have her phone back in result of her giving me the money I have given her for the phone. I had given her money for the phone.
There's no such word as given.
Well, given money for the phone, and I told her that once I received the money I gave for the phone, she could have her phone back.
Did she also transfer to you another piece of equipment?
Yes.
What other piece of equipment did she transfer?
It was an Apple Watch.
An Apple Watch. And why would she transfer an Apple Watch to you?
She paid for it with a credit card at Walmart.
Just a second. She paid for it?
Yes.
I don't care whether you paid for it in gold or silver or Bitcoin or cash. She paid for an Apple Watch. Why did she give it to you?
Because we made an agreement that I would pay her back for it.
Okay, so now she's given you a phone and an Apple Watch.
Yes, ma'am.
That she purchased. How much did you pay for the phone?
$940.69.
On what date?
July 11th of 2017.
And on what date did you purchase the Apple Watch?
It was sometime between February of 2018.
Sometime in February of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you transfer both items to her? On what date?
The phone was on February 10th, and Apple Watch was a week prior to that, so around February 20th of 2018.
No, if it was a week prior, that means before.
I'm sorry, a week after.
And how much money was she supposed to pay you for both things?
$856.
For both?
Yes.
Who has the Apple Watch?
It has been returned.
To whom?
To Walmart.
By whom?
We both took it back together.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you get a credit for it?
No, she kept the money for it.
Who pays your credit card bill?
I do.
Something's not processing right here.
When I purchased the Apple Watch, I had actually paid cash first, and then I paid with my debit card. I had saved up money from Christmas and stuff, so I had money put up.
It resulted in we were sitting at her house, and I was going to purchase it with my next check by myself, and they were on sale at Walmart at the time, and we were sitting in her room, and she said, well, I can buy it, and then you can just pay me back for it when you get paid. And that's how the conversation went.
Just a second. She already had it. Why would you return it? You mean you bought it when it was on sale?
Yes, we bought it when it was on sale, and then I realized that...
You bought it on her credit card. She just said she paid cash for it.
No, she paid with her card, one of her cards.
For the watch?
For the watch.
And then you returned it, you said?
As well as she took me to pick it up and when she paid for it. She was with me when I received the cash from returning it. They gave us cash back, and I asked her, did she want the cash? And she said, no, you can pay me back at a later date.
That is incorrect.
It sounds something...
It's very confusing. Sorry, it's a really confusing thing.
No, it's super confusing, and I'm not easily confused.
Yeah, I'm not either, but this one was really confusing.
Did you finally understand it?
I did, and I actually helped her write a text about it to Desiree, explaining like what was owed, what was paid and stuff.
No, well, that's after the fact.
Yes.
I don't care what she wrote to her after the fact. I'm trying to figure out what the two of them did, what kind of scam they were trying to do. I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't think they were trying to scam. I think it was like buyer's remorse. I think that, from what I understood, was Desiree had lost her job and didn't have the money, so she had returned the watch to get the money back to pay bills. That's the only thing I understood out of the whole situation on the watch issue.
I didn't lose my job at Pizza Hut, nor...
well, you're not working at Pizza Hut anymore. Now you're working as a waitress.
I work as a waitress, yes, I do.
So you're not working at the same place anymore.
No, but I didn't lose my job. I resigned. I put in my 2-week notice and did it the right way.
Just a second. Whatever it is, you would know that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So she returned the watch and she got the cash. Okay. Perfect. Got it. Now, you had made an arrangement with her to pay you for both items.
Yes.
$850?
Yes.
Okay. Watch, she doesn't have anymore. She took back. Got the cash. How much cash did she give you altogether for both the phone and the watch?
She gave me $400.
So she owes you $450.
Yes, but when I had decided, I said, you know, you can give me the phone back and I'll pay you the money that you gave me, minus the amount that you owed me for the Apple Watch. So I went to the ATM, I took out $300, and I had gave it to her. We went to Walmart. I was trying to be a good friend. We went to Walmart and got her phone so she can use. It was $100.
Okay. So she gave you $400, and of the $400, you gave her back $300.
Yes.
And that's when I decided that I wanted all of the money. And this is the text message.
No. I'm not buying you. So now she's back up to $750. She paid you $400. That would have meant she owed you $450. You gave her back $300 of the $400 that she gave you. That would mean $750 that she owes you.
Yes.
And then?
And then we went to Walmart, and I gave her $300, and we were driving back to her house, and she said, no, never mind, I'm just going to pay you. And I said, okay, fine. So we went back to Walmart, returned the phone. She gave me the money back for the phone, which was $173 plus the $100. So she gave me $273 altogether for the Apple Watch.
She owed you altogether $850. Bird. 687?
577.
577?
577.
Oh, God. So glad you're with me. What else?
My little brother had messaged her, and she had threatened to hurt my little brother. She said he's going to end up getting hurt if she doesn't leave him alone.
I don't care. Everybody has to keep a little busier, doing a little more important things than trying to be stupid. And if you're 18 and 19 and 20 and acting stupid, that's fine. Just don't have children. 577. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Yeah.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of 577. We're finished. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just, you know, trying to be a good friend to someone.
At the time, we were really close friends until she had got pregnant by somebody that wants nothing to do with her. She co-signed for him a car.
She threatened me that I got pregnant by someone, but her sister didn't even know who the father of her child was.
Spent all her money off her credit cards and then became a money-hungry person.
So I don't even know. She's throwing stuff at my face.
That wanted all types of money from anybody she could get money from. She doesn't talk to me no more.
It is what it is, and you lesson learned.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hinchley versus Hernandez. Step forward.
Vicki Hinchley is suing motorist 20-year-old Leslie Hernandez for hitting her car while she was trying to back into a parking spot.
Mrs. Hinchley, this is your son. You're the actual plaintiff because the car belongs to you. Your son was driving the car. You're how old?
I'm 19.
You weren't there during the course of the accident and have no idea what happened?
No, I was not there.
Good. You can have a seat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to tell me your version of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to me. Don't embarrass yourself.
Okay.
Try not to embarrass yourself.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
19-year-old Matthew Hinchley says fellow motorist Leslie Hernandez backed into his car while she was trying to park.
Now, on what date did you have this accident?
This accident occurred on October the 17th, 2017.
And you and the defendant go to school together?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
And you were parked in your parking spot?
Yes, I was.
Had you just...
Come back from class.
And you were arriving to class?
Yes, I was.
You want to tell me your version of what happened?
Yes. So, I was walking back from class. I was walking into the structure to go to my parked car, and I saw her back into my car up here, and she readjusted and then reparked our car. I continued to walk to the car, saw the damage, and looked at her. She looked at the car herself and then looked at me, rolled down her passenger side window and asked, "Did I hit your car?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, you did hit my car." And from there, she was kind of rushing the situation, kind of a little flustered, trying to get through it. I asked her, "Do you want to call the campus security to get a police report?"
Go back to your seat.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said to her, you were out of the car because she rolled out the window. You were standing.
Yes, I was.
You were standing at the driver's side.
I was standing at her passenger side door.
At her passenger side?
Yes, she was backing into the parking space.
Oh, she was backing in.
Yes.
Got it. When you said to her, "Did you want me to call campus security?" what did she say?
She said, "No, we should just exchange information."
Did you do that?
Yes, we did.
On October 17th, when this happened, did you have current insurance that you can prove to me you had?
I do. I have it with me if you...
So you had liability?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the deductible on your liability?
I am not sure right now.
So you exchanged information?
Yes, we did.
Did you try to contact...
I continued to contact our insurance company. Their insurance company played a runaround, and it was actually my mom that dealt more with the insurance company.
I was dealing with the insurance company.
Do you have any documentation of that?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. So they offered you a couple of $100s to go away, her insurance company?
Correct.
Mr. Hinchley, did you notice any damage to the defendant's car?
I noticed some small damage on our quarter panel, yes.
Show me exactly where the damage was.
On her car?
To her car.
On our car, it would have been right here, just behind the passenger side wheel, on the quarter panel.
Okay. So I have a couple of things.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I suggested you not embarrass yourself. It's physically impossible coming out of a parking space for him to hit your car with the side of his car. He can hit it with the front. He could hit it with the back. But he can't slide into it. Do you understand?
19-year-old Matthew Hinchley says fellow motorist Leslie Hernandez backed into his car while she was trying to park.
Now, did you report this accident to your insurance company?
I did not.
One must only assume you did not report it to the insurance company because?
Because we had both agreed that it wasn't that big of a deal, and it was
if
only
it wasn't that big of a deal, why did you give him your insurance information?
I did not give him my insurance information right away. I only gave him my phone number because he had only requested my phone number at first.
Okay, so he gave him his phone number, and then he called you and asked you for your insurance information.
He texted me.
And did you give it to him?
I did, because
Great.
he kept continuously texting me, and it was becoming too much, and I was like, all right,
I don't care. You want to tell me your version of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to me. Don't embarrass yourself.
Okay.
Try not to embarrass yourself.
Okay. So
I was coming into the parking garage and I was backing up into a spot. And the plaintiff was backing out of his spot.
And hit your car?
Yeah.
And that's what, so now you're going to show me the damage to your car?
Yes.
You want to show me where the damage is to your car? Make a circle. And I'll also take the photographs of the plaintiff's car.
Thank you.
Look, I suggested you not embarrass yourself. You see what you said in your diagram?
Mm-hmm.
That diagram shows that he hit you in the center of your car. That's what it shows.
It's actually closer to the fender.
No, that's what it shows. That's what you told me happened. This is a scrape on a wheel. That's what this is.
That's on the fender.
Right above the wheel. Okay. And this is where you backed into his car. He can't hit your car with the side of his car.
I understand, and that's why I was completely understanding.
Do you understand that? It's physically impossible coming out of a parking space for him to hit your car with the side of his car. He can hit it with the front, he could hit it with the back, but he can't slide into it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have an estimate?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it. I'd get better insurance if I were you. $21.56, judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Well, I mean, it's just Judy. Whatever she says goes.
I do not feel I was responsible for the accident that day.
I mean, there's always two sides to one story, right?
I was at school. I was just doing my normal classes,